Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel. We all know that our neighbor country Sri Lanka is in deep trouble. They are facing their worst economical crisis in history. So today I am going to discuss you the reason behind this. So let's start. Friends, according to various news, in Sri Lanka, there is crisis of essential commodities like baby food. Before I gonna discuss about the reason behind this, we should know some basic things. What makes a country economically strong? When the central bank of that country, like Reserve Bank in India, have huge amount of foreign reserve means dollar. Why? Because it increased their purchasing power. Now you can ask me, why only US dollar? Why not any other local currency? Because dollar is the most popular currency used in global trading. Almost all global transaction, loan, debt are processed in dollar. For example, India helped Sri Lanka by providing 100 million US dollar as a loan, not 100 million Indian rupees. Okay, that's why dollar is also known as global currency. Now, what are the sources of US dollar? Firstly, if a country export their product to other country, it brings dollar to that country. Secondly, when foreign investor invest in a country, then also dollar will flow to that country. And thirdly, when tourists visit a country, they also bring dollar with them. Now, if a country says that I have nothing to export, no foreign investment in our country, as well as no place for tourism here, then from where they can bring dollar? It means that they have very small dollar reserve in their central bank. Now, a country may think, okay, if we have very less dollar reserve in our country, what's so worry? We have our own local currency. We will print more and more our local currency, and by using that, we will import more and more products from other country, as well as our citizen will have more money in their hand, and subsequently poverty will be gone. If a country is thinking this way, then they are totally wrong. It brings economical disaster. How? I will show you. Now, if a country start printing more and more local currency, then more money will be in circulation as well as in hand of public also. Thus, public will purchase more and more product unnecessarily, resulting sudden reduction of availability of the product in market. And if the availability of product is less compared to demand, it causes increased purchase value of the product and resulting inflation, and it will result in drop of value of the currency. So, why there is a reduction of the value of currency due to inflation? Let's take an example. Before inflation, suppose an apple cost rupees 100, but due to inflation it will cost rupees 1000. Means inflation brings dropping of value of the currency. If you print more and more money than limit, it will bring inflation, and thus there will be drop of value of currency in global market. So what's the only way to expand economy? By exporting more and more through foreign investment and through tourism. As well as there is another way that is known as tax collection from citizen. Means if a country charges very small tax from their citizen, that will also affect to the economy of that country. So to be economically strong, you should have more dollar reserve in your central bank, and limited local currency in circulation. We all know that US dollar is the local currency of United States, but China has the largest amount of dollar reserve in their central bank, not the United States, because China is the biggest exporter in the world. Now come to the topic. What actually happened to Sri Lanka? In case of export, one of the most exported product of Sri Lanka is agricultural product. They bring millions of dollars through exporting agricultural product. But the government did not want this happiness. What they did, they took a policy, that is total conversion of agriculture to organic only policy. Means there is no use of chemical fertilizer or pesticides in agriculture. Thus resulted production reduced by nearly half, which will even did not meet demand of their own citizen. Now in case of foreign investment, so Sri Lankan government already stopped exporting agricultural product, as well as production of other product also hampered due to 2-year long pandemic. So there is almost nil export by the Sri Lankan government. So Sri Lanka spent their almost all foreign reserve to buy essential commodities like food grain, baby food, fuel, etc., resulting a few dollar remains in their central bank. So how could government buy more essential product as the dollar reserve is touching the lower limit? So what they did, their central bank started printing huge local currency to run government spending and to purchase more essential commodities. As per sources, they printed billions of Sri Lankan rupees every day despite a warning given by International Monetary Fund. And as we have already discussed, it brought a high inflation, resulting increase of purchase value of all product, and thus foreign investors lost their interest as they found that everything in Sri Lanka is very costly. So it will be economical for them to invest in any other country, not in Sri Lanka. Now tourism is very important part of Sri Lankan economy, but it also collapsed due to COVID-19 pandemic in last 2 years. And finally, in case of tax collection from citizen, the world famous ineligible Sri Lankan government started giving freebies by reducing huge tax collection from citizen. Do you know what is freebies? It is very common in India also. Before election, political parties promises you that if they will come to power, they would give you free electricity, free water, free bus travel, free transfer of money to bank account. Okay, these are called as freebies. But remember, these freebies actually will bring economic disaster. So these are the reasons responsible for economic crisis in Sri Lanka. Now what are the current condition of Sri Lanka? The current condition of Sri Lanka is Sri Lanka has a unpayable foreign debt nearly $51 billion. Means Sri Lanka have to pay this amount to foreign countries. There is huge shortage of food grain, baby food, milk, medicine and fuel in Sri Lanka. Also, there is jobless and long duration power cut across the country. As Sri Lanka is our immediate neighbor country, so it is our responsible to help them in their crisis moment. Not only central government helped them, but also state government extended their hand to help Sri Lanka in their crisis situation. So how India helped Sri Lanka? In February, New Delhi provided a short-term loan of $500 million to Colombo for the purchase of petroleum products through the Ministry of Energy and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation on behalf of the government of Sri Lanka. 3 months before that, in November 2021, India gave 100 tons of nano nitrogen liquid fertilizer to Sri Lanka as their government stopped the import of chemical fertilizer. The total fuel delivered to the people of Sri Lanka over the last 50 days amount to nearly 2 lakh metric ton, including a consignment of 40,000 metric ton by Indian Oil Corporation outside the line of credit facility in February 2022. The first consignment of rice from India is expected to arrive in Sri Lanka shortly under this credit facility. The rice shipment could help Colombo bring down rice prices, which have doubled in a year, adding fuel to the unrest. And finally, on April 29, the Tamil Nadu Assembly adopted unanimously the motion to have relief material worth 123 crore, including the supply of 40,000 tons of rice valued at 80 crore rupees, 137 life-saving drugs value 28 crore, and 500 tons of milk powder for children value 15 crore to be supplied to the people of the island nation, which is reeling under an unprecedented economic crisis. So this is all about Sri Lankan economic crisis. If you like my analysis, please subscribe my channel, like my video and share my video. We will meet again with a new topic. Thank you.